Hey guys, I'm Amy and you've landed on Belle Loves Bargains. That's my cow Effingham, and sometimes he co-hosts with me. He's got a lot to say. This channel is Dollar Tree and only Dollar Tree. And why? Because everything at the Dollar Tree is $1.25, people. So stick around, consider subscribing, and don't forget to give me that big thumbs up. And if you want to know more about the 4 uploads I do every week, just check out the description box for more information. Enjoy! Baby, lock the door and turn the lights down low. Put some music on that's soft and slow. 'Cause baby, we ain't got no place to go. I hope you understand. I've been thinking about this all day long. I never felt a feeling quite this strong. Can't believe how much lanterns turn me on. All right, guys. Hey, welcome to Belle's Bargains. I was trying to come up with a lantern song. Couldn't come up with one, but I was like, I'm going to turn the lights down low so you guys get the glow of my lanterns behind me. Oh my gosh, there's so many. Let's see. All right, so let's get started. I've been working on this video for a couple of weeks now, and I've made quite a few lanterns. Quite a few fails, too. I'm going to teach you guys all something about products that you buy at the Dollar Tree. But if you're new to the channel, you should know this is a Dollar Tree channel. It's a Dollar Tree channel. Like, everything's a Dollar Tree. So I do Dollar Tree hauls, Dollar Tree crafts, Dollar Tree food reviews. Anyway, I haven't put out a craft video in a couple of weeks with the new year and the holidays. And, you know, at work we were moving, so it's been super busy. So I've been like working on these, trying to work on these in the weekends, and they take a little bit longer because these are really building some things. But I've got, I don't even know how many I have for you. Let's see. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think I have 11. There was a couple more. I just didn't get them finished. I'm like, I've got to get this done. So let's just dive right in. Some of these are super easy, and some of them are a little bit more difficult. And what I really tried to do was to do ones that were just different. They're not all the same. It's not all the same concept. There's so many different ideas here. So I'm going to start in the back corner and work my way behind me. And then at the end, I'm going to actually insert how I made them all. Now, normally I'll show you and then the item, and then I'll show you how I made it. I'm doing this one a little bit different because some of you may not want to watch how it's made. You may just be interested in seeing the different lanterns that I made. So without further ado, let's dive in. So this one is super cute, and one of the ones that I would say is super easy. Now this is, you guys, this is a cute little beehive, just wire basket hanging thing that they brought out. I think it was last year I got it. I'm sure it'll come back out this year. But notice what's on the bottom of these. Do you know what these are? There's 1 inside and there's 3 on the bottom. What are they? Brand new at Dollar Tree. That's right. They are the Scotch Guard table leg things that you put so you can slide your table around without scratching your floors. And I said when I bought them, like, I'm totally using these for crafting. But the reason I did this, and I just thought it looked so good, so I want to talk about this. So this is black, and we've got these sort of copper bees. So easy because I didn't do anything to what they sold as the original. But adding these, which are very beehive-ish in that rounded, right? And the color of these just such complements the copper on the bees. And then, of course, just a little tea light votive in there. They sell these in a 4-pack at Dollar Tree, and a little votive candle. I think this is super sweet and super cute for all you bee lovers out there. So, number 1. Number 2 isn't going to show so well because I accidentally left it on. But I was like, well, I can't do anything about it now, so I'm just going to show you. So, lanterns. Remember, I'm making all different kinds. So they have these adorable light up, I think they call them little lanterns. And all I did was upscale it. So this is another one that's super easy. So really quickly, let's just talk about, there's a light inside and you turn it on. I left it on. But you guys, there's a couple of elements to this that I think really pop it. So I used shoe polish just to give it some aging around it so it wasn't stark white. And then I used the brush markers, and this is shoe polish in the center here, to just give a little highlight to this around the sunflower. When it's lit up, it's so cute. I feel bad because I can't, there's not even a way I can light it up, is there? If I hold it in front of this, is that better? Yeah, sort of. So it's really cute when it's lit up. But what I did was I did that, and then I added some jute, and I did a really cool macrame tie handle on it. So easy, very cute. Just a cute little decorative piece, and if the light worked on it, you would see. It was cute. So that's another easy one. I gotta put them back where I got. No, I don't. All right, so the next one was a little bit more difficult. And when you watch how I make this, if you do, you'll understand. But when I bought these, I said this was what I was gonna do with it. And these are the boxes that they have that have the butterfly cut out. And then behind it, there's a saying, like I think they came out for Mother's Day. And I bought them and I said, I'm totally making a lantern out of them. Well, what I want you guys to notice is, so when you make a lantern, when you have 4 sides, you either meet the sides, the side to the front, or you put them together and you end up like with a little cutout in the corners, right? If you think about that. So because they're not going to match up magically because your 4 sides, I'm not saying it right. Well, anyway, you just have to believe me. So what I did was every side got a side as opposed to 2 sides getting 2 sides, right? Because that would make it rectangular and I wanted it to be square. But then what I did, and it took a little bit of work, was the side that I cut off the box, I removed the paper on it so that I could add this strip to sort of tie it all in. So look at each side there. Like I added this strip and it really tied in all the colors of the box. These are those little die cutouts, then the little tiny tic-tac-toe things. They have the little butterflies. And so I just grabbed a bunch of those, I stained them, and then put them all over. And what I want to talk about, what's inside this though, is I'm going to take the candle out. Oh, that's hot. That's dumb, Amy. Amy, you're so dumb sometimes, but that's okay. So this is, I'm going to talk about the candle too, is that on the bottom, I took one of the inserts, so that would have been like behind this, and made it the bottom. And I didn't do anything to it, I just left it the home. I think this came out so cute, and at the joints, I put the butterflies on top. Super cute for like a springy room or a butterfly bathroom, or, you know, or a little girl's room, maybe not a real candle at that point, but something else like a battery operated candle. But this candle is bonus. At the end of the video, I'm going to show you how I made some candles. Now, for those of you that watch my channel, you know I buy lots of Dollar Tree candles and I burn them. But what happens is oftentimes there's a lot of wax still at the bottom of the candle. So as part of my whole lantern thing, it took me a long time actually to do, but it was well worth it. I put water on the stove, I'll show you, and I made my own candles. So at the very end, I'll show you how I did that. But it was a great way to save the wax. And then I ended up with these, I think I have 3 of them, and I'll show them to you. I ended up with these cool like colors and whatnot, depending upon what wax was in there, and I just poured on top. And I made my own wicks just using jute twine, and I just dipped it in wax. I melted wax, dipped it in, and it becomes your wick, which I didn't know. I Googled, I found that out. So there was the first candle, or one of the candles I made. Let's put it back in our butterfly box, and it fits so nicely in this butterfly box. Okay, so then moving along. You guys are seeing the back of my head a lot today, huh? This one was what I would say is definitely a more difficult lantern to make, but I love it. So in the inside, I have one of the vases filled with water and a floating candle, which you can buy at the Dollar Tree. This is all Dollar Tree stuff. But recently, they've come out with these, which are foam. They call what do they call them? Table mats or something? I don't know. There was this one, and then there's one that says something about home. Anyway, I took it and I cut it down. So this is cork, and then I used it as my base for building this. But these are the wood rounds, circles, forms, whatever, that comes in a three pack, and there's 3 different sizes. So I took 3 of them, and then the skewers painted and made my own little sort of Asian feeling, I feel, or boho, very modern little lantern. And then I used this is leather tie that was on this as the apparatus for hanging it if you wanted to hang it. And I used that just to tie on my little handle. And this is just another round that I cut to make it my handle. I love this. I think these would make great centerpieces. It's just a beautiful statement piece. And again, I've put candles and everything, but you don't have to. You can use battery operated candle. So I think this is really cool. I think it would make a great gift. And that was my, oh, I blew out my candle when well, there's that. Should we light it again? Well, we have to, right? Hold on. We have to have the candle lit. That's what makes this fun. So, and these floating candles, I wonder if I got it wet when I did, huh? So it's not gonna light. But these floating candles are such a good buy, you guys, at the Dollar Tree. Yeah, it's not gonna light. I got it wet, but that's okay. You get the idea. You saw it. All right, so those are really good buy at the Dollar Tree. And I think there's 2 in a pack. So for weddings, for centerpieces, for a party, that's just an excellent, excellent buy. Okay, then, moving right along. This is another one of the candles I made. I didn't clean it up, sorry. But you can see how it's got the variant of the different colors in it. It's just, it was fun to do. It was really fun. Okay, so next is this little guy. Another super easy one. Now this is solar, so it's not a candle. So I'm not sure it's gonna come on because it's too bright in here. I'm trying to get it on. It was on when I came in and then all the lights came on, so it turned off. Oh, it went on for a second there. There we go. So, barely. But it's so cute. Put this on a shelf near a window. It's gonna charge during the day and you have this nice little night light at night. This is these solar little, I call them, you know, sort of Asian lanterns. They were already lanterns. Came out in the summertime. Absolutely love the shape of this. But this, the outside of it, is a new product that had a picture frame in it. So I removed that, put this in the middle, used some jute twine to, you know, tie it onto it. And it's just a really cool boho looking little lantern that you can just put on a shelf somewhere. No candle, it's all solar. I think this is so cute and so very easy. Okay. So this is another easy one, and also a solar, not a solar, I'm sorry, this one turns on and off. But these are those little things that have the light bulb on them. They look like I have an idea kind of thing, and a pencil holder, and a wreath charm, because look, there it still is. So I like this. I think it's also just a kind of a cute little, in a little boys room as a little nightlight or something. Just cute, super easy. I love that it's very industrial because we've got this silver pencil holder, and then this was black. I did paint the top, which is normally white. I painted it black, and then sticking this on, and this is the same width as this, so it just all went together so well. So that's my cute little industrial lantern. The one that I'm gonna show you next is really one of my favorites. And that is this big mama jama back here. Check this out. This is huge, you guys. It's huge. This is centerpiece worthy for sure. And as Marcus said, he goes, I see it as Christmas. I can see you putting Christmas florals in it. Yeah, you could. But let's talk about this. These are 2 different frames. And when I bought them, I was like, I'm totally going to make a lantern out of these. But by mirroring them together, because this frame fits inside of this, by the way, excellent idea just for putting a picture in it, because it really adds this huge dimension to it, classes it up and everything. But then I left the glass in the second frame, and then I used the window film stuff that they sell there at Dollar Tree, and you can't really see it here, but the coloring of this pulls out the gray so beautifully. It looks great. And then on the bottom, I added one of their glass trivets or candle holders. I don't know, whatever they call it. It's in their kitchen section. It's like a hot pad sort of thing, but it's glass. And so I put that in the bottom of it and added some apples. These are the apple things, and made them the legs on this. And I think this piece is so gorgeous. Now, you could have definitely do more to this. I could have added some florals. I could certainly seasonal this up, you know, put some Christmas florals in the front of it or whatever on all 4 sides and make it a centerpiece with the candle. But the cost on that was so incredibly inexpensive considering what you've got. I mean, I have 8 picture frames in there at $1.25. So basically I'm at $10 for all the parts. Now the window film stuff, another $1.25, $11.25. And if you add in the candle thing on the bottom, now we're at $12.50. But this is a very substantial, large piece for $12.50. It's so nice. And I want to talk about, I did have a couple of epic fails when I was trying to do the lanterns. And one of the reasons is because certain things don't glue together well. Put my candle back in there. But these glue together super well because they're like a foam plastic. So hot glue worked phenomenal on it. I did put the window tint on the outside of the glass so that inside the heat of the candle wouldn't affect that at all. But that worked really well. And I did have some black frames that I tried, and I had this great idea. Didn't matter what I tried to glue them with, that coated black plastic is really, really difficult to get to stay together. And I didn't want to put together lanterns that were going to be flimsy. Because of course, these are something you move around, to light up and so on and so forth. So I ended up scrapping about 4 different lanterns that I tried. And that's okay, because I'm only showing you the ones that worked. All right, so moving along. One of the very first ones that I did was this one. And this is also holding a candle that I made. Check that. I love the colors on this. Like just the layering of the leftover wax in the candles. So it was fun. Never done candles before. But let's talk about this one because again, I love how this came out. So this is 4 frames. But here again, we're going to talk about, and take this off to show you. Like when you put them together, you're always going to have one side that sticks out. It makes it imbalanced, right? Because of course you don't have that same protrusion on this side because I was keeping it square, not rectangle. So what I did was I took some macrame twine and I did just a knot, like just kept knotting it and gluing it down. It looks really good. It very much finishes it off. It sort of gives it a boho. And these picture frames, I absolutely love. They have the half beads on it. And again, it was just perfect for making a lantern. And look, what did I use? Another one of the inserts from my butterfly one. They were just a perfect square size. So put it in there upside down, everything's great. And then I had to make a top. And I'm like, well, how do I make a top? Because I want to be able to put my lantern on there and then put my candle in. So I got to show you this because when I first lit it, my wick was so tall on that. I was like, oops. Anyway, but this is, can you see it? It's the game, the wood game in the kids section. But it was the perfect size. Threw a couple of tumbling tower blocks on there. And then this just sits on it, finishing it off. But you can take this off to put your candle in, finishing it off. And you have enough airflow from the sides that your candle will still burn inside there when you have the lid on. Yes? I think this one came out really cute. I'm absolutely in love with it. By the way, I'm saving my very favorite for last. Okay, and then this one, again, I was trying really hard to come up with different ideas. So I totally feel like this is sort of a centerpiece sort of one. This is, they had these signs or packages that had these in them that said family, one said gather, one said love. And so what I did was, you'll see if you watch how I put them together, was I used some popsicle sticks and I made it one continuous sign. The family and the gather were exactly the same length. Actually, I think the love is too. And then I took these little picture frames they have. Oops, oh my glass fell out. Anyway, that have, I should probably glue that. Because I had to remove the backing, right? Because the backing was, is dark, right? Because it was a picture frame for putting a picture. But I left the glass in there and then just, those were my sides. It was the perfect, because of course this was all house shaped. So I think this one came out really cool. Again, super easy to make it holiday, because you could put some greenery on the sides. You could just take out the candles, put greenery in it. You could add little legs to this. I did not opt to leave it flat. And on the bottom is just a piece of a sign. You know, those long signs they make. I just cut it down and used it as my bottom. So I love this, and it was very different. It's getting warm in here, FYI. Okay. And then this one, which again, when I talk about items that you can work with, so watch your frames if you're gonna make any of these. You really wanna find the frames that are sort of the foam, like the hard foam, which is what this is. So it looks like wood, it is not. And I just took the picture frames, put them together, right? I used a piece of, did you see that? That just came off. I used a piece of the galvanized tin, which comes in the squares, and I rusted it all up. If you've watched my channel, you've seen how I rust things up with, you do peroxide, vinegar, and salt, and you stick it outside and it rusts it all up. So I did that with the top and the bottom. And then on my top, after I rusted it up, I just bent it and added the little handle. This is on-off for putting your candle in. And these are the newest charm things they have. The colors on these beads looked so rustic and farmhouse with my chicken wire lantern here. So I was like, it's just perfect. This, I think, is gonna go in my kitchen. But my favorite is coming up. I mean, I really like my chicken wire one too. I like them all, but this is my favorite. So Dollar Tree Plus, and I'm going to tell you the story. When Dollar Tree Plus first started coming out, there was one of my stores. They weren't a plus, but somehow they ended up with just like these 3 boxes that were from Dollar Tree Plus. And I snagged it, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. It's been sitting in my stash for 2 years. And so when I went to do the lanterns, I'm like, yeah, I got to use one. So when you watch me make this, you're going to see what I did. This is watercolor paints that I bought from the Dollar Tree. And I decided to use watercolor because I wanted to play with the bleeding in of the colors. Now, if I turn this off, let me just show you what this is. First of all, it's a box. Should go like this. But I put it on its side, I added a handle, and I put lights inside and made it a lantern. And on the inside, because I put a piece of cutting board so that we got a lantern look. And there's the lights, glued the thing in, and I can turn them on, turn them off, close my lid, and I've got a beautiful lantern. But see my colors there? This is with watercolors. I painted it with watercolors, and it was fun, and I just had a great time playing with them. I use acrylics all the time. I wanted to be different again. I was just trying to come up with different ideas, and this is so cool. And this is just the faux leather ribbon, and I gave it a nice little handle with some thumbtacks. Couldn't find the brads that I bought, but whatever, it doesn't matter. And this is, I think, for sure my favorite. It's very boho-ish. I'm going to put it on the shelves in my living room. I absolutely love it. It's very bright, it's cheery, and it's just cool looking. And so this one is my favorite. All right, now I'm going to interrupt and show you guys very quickly how I made these. So please understand, I'm just going to insert little snippets of the steps. So you're not going to watch me do long things because this is just going to be a long video as it is. We're already 21 minutes in. So let me do a fast forward really quickly of how I put these together, just calling out what the steps are, okay? Watch this. Let's get these lanterns started. Obviously, I'm opening up the packages, and I've got to somehow remove that background, so I'm just scoring it with a X-Acto knife there to try and pop it out. After a little bit of scoring, it comes out pretty easily. And then I'm going to paint the inside of all of my boxes with eggnog. This is eggnog color. And the reason for this is so that the light reflects brighter in there when you put a candle in. So I think I did 2 coats of this. I wasn't looking for complete coverage, more just lightening it up. Now arranging how the color scheme, how I'm going to put them color by color, what color order. And once I figure that out, now I know I have to remove one side so that I can glue it to the next one. You could leave this on, but I decided not to. And it was so easy. I just scored down and removed that side. Super easy. Then a little tacky glue and some hot glue to make our square lantern.
Now again, notice like it offsets your butterfly because you're putting the one side of the next box on there. And to cover up that seam, like I said, I take the paper off the side that I cut off. I'm just reinforcing those joints, by the way, with some hot glue on the inside after they go together. Okay, so now I'm going to take the 4 sides and I'm going to remove the paper. And some of them came off easy, some of them I had to do a little soaking, but eventually I got them off. And then I'm going to trim them down. I'm not going to leave them exactly the size that they are. And here I'm just adding some glue to put my bottom in. And again, this is just one of the ones that I popped out of one of the butterfly signs. So here I am cutting it down a little bit. I'm going to use tacky glue, and I'm just going to sort of brush it on there. And there we go. And that covers my seam, and it gives it a nice finished look on each side. Just measuring to make sure I do the same size on my pieces. I really like this effect. I think it looked really good, and it pulled in all the different patterns too, tying them all together. Okay, so once I get that, I'm going to take some shoe polish and just paint the inside of the butterfly, right? Just the edging of the butterfly. But then on the outside, I'm using a white metallic marker to outline the butterfly. Look at this little detail. It makes such a difference, doesn't it? It just gives it a beautiful like outline. It's such a little detail, but it makes such a big difference. And then we're going to do some aging and sanding on this thing. So I'm sanding all of my corners and sides and whatnot with a nail file, and then using my shoe polish to just give it a little bit of age. Not too much. I wasn't going for too much. Just pulling away that stark bright whiteness of it. And then I'm going to pull out my butterflies, and I'm just staining them with shoe polish. So you could do this with a furniture marker, you could do it with stain, whatever you want. Putting 1 on each of the joints on top to cover that joint, and 3 on each side. You know, I love odd numbers. And in random placement, so it's not the same on all 3 sides. Just kind of went with what I thought looked best, or perhaps I was covering an imperfection in the paper, just, you know, whatever. And I believe I had 4 different styles, so there's 1 of each style on the top, and then random 3 different styles on each side. There weren't 3 of the same or 2 of the same. I used 3 different styles on each side. I think this came out really cute. These are really cool picture frames, so we're just gonna disassemble them to start with, right? Take all the guts out, all the little pieces out, and I'm gonna glue them together right away. Used wood glue and hot glue for that instantaneous bond, but again, we're always gonna have that one side that's a little bit larger. That didn't work, so I had to redo it. It happens, right? And then I gotta hold it to make sure it holds. But so this, again, it's going to have an extra on one side of it because I'm making these square, not rectangle. But I'm going to cover that up. So I'm going to put 4 tumbling tower blocks on another one of these things that I popped out of the butterflies. They ended up being my bottoms on numerous things. And so this is the bottom. So underneath this one it says, "Love you, Mom." But this is my bottom for my candle, and it's a perfect coloring as well. Now I'm taking the white, I think this is their macrame cord, and all I'm doing is knotting, you guys. These are just simple knots, just a knot, just to give it some dimension on this decorative piece that I'm going to add to cover that seam right there. And I don't have to do any staining, I didn't have to do anything, but I want you guys to take note of something. See how this is lighter and that side is darker? So by using that lighter macrame, it really pulls it together. So this is my top, which is the game piece. And so I'm just going to stain it with shoe polish. And then these are the little tic-tac-toe boxes that they put all the little wood cutouts into. Actually, these are what the butterflies, I believe, came in. I glued 2 of these together to give me my top of my lantern top here with some wood glue. And then I'm going to take a mushroom, yes, a mushroom, little wood mushroom, and I'm going to stain it up to be the knob on top. And right now I am just wood gluing in some tumbling tower blocks in the top on either side, so that my lid will sit in and not protrude on the top, because it was an exact fit inside. So we're going to glue down our little center wood thing, and here's our mushroom. And I'm going to find my center, just like a little dot, and now a little wood glue, and I let that sit. Little paint off any extra glue. And there you go. This one is done. Oh no, it's not done, I'm sorry. I have to add the half beads, that's right. So these half beads came off some Mother's Day signs that were out for Mother's Day, and I had done something else with them, and I removed these as part of it. And all I'm doing is just cutting them down and putting them on the border around this, so because it matches the frames that I made the lantern out of. It was absolutely perfect. And I did not stain them or anything. I just sanded their sides down and glued them down. And then this piece is done. I like the way this one came out. It's a good sturdy piece, and I hope you like it too. There we go. Let's go to the next one. Okay, this one takes a little bit more. So there's one of the wood round, I don't even know what they're called, wood rounds. I'm tracing out on this cheetah, leopard print, whatever, foam cork thing for my bottom. And I'm just sanding it. After I cut it, I just sanded it a little bit to smooth out the sides. And then I'm gonna paint it, because this is all gonna end up being black. And I'm just measuring out everything to make sure I've got all the stuff that I need. So this is a Sharpie, I know. And then I was like, no, I'm gonna go to shoe polish because it was easier. So this is the black shoe polish. But of course, black chalk paint would work for all of this as well. I'm literally going to do everything in the black on the wood and everything, but not super heavy coats. I was okay with seeing some of my wood grain come through. So I'm gluing down my first wood round on the cork, and this is now my base. And I'm going to shoe polish up my other 2 wood rounds, wood forms, round wreaths. I don't know, what do you call those? And then do the same thing with my dowels or skewers. Okay, what I do here, I took a piece of paper and I folded it so that I would evenly space my skewers. And so I folded, and then I marked with that little white marker all around on the wood round, so that I would glue these spaced exactly correct. And then all I'm going to do is just a little tiny bit of glue. See my little white dots? Little tiny bit of glue. And this starts it. This gives me my base. And then once I'm done with that, I'm going to add my top, but you have to slide the middle round on and then glue your top. See that? Slide your middle round on, then glue your top. And I just did opposite sides. I already had these spaced, so I could trust the spacing that was naturally happening there. One came out. And I'm just hot gluing, which is working perfectly. And you have so many glue points that there's a lot of support for it. And once I did this, I'm going to measure and put the, I'm adding extra glue support on the top there. Now I'm going to measure to get the middle round in the center. So I'm just measuring it. Glue one side, flip it over, glue the next side, and then just going to go around and around and around and around to get that on. And it worked great. And now I'm trying to figure out, like, how am I going to do a handle on this? And so in the end, I take a round like this, drop it in there, and mark it. Did you see that? Because that tells me where it's going to comfortably go on this piece. So I've cut it. Now I'm going to sand the ends. We're going to paint it up. And then I'm going to take the leather that was originally on the foam, the cork piece, and I'm just taking a screwdriver and sort of just doing a twist, twist, twist to make a hole, because this is very soft wood, so that I can put my little leather piece through and tie it off onto the top. I actually cracked the one side, but I just used wood glue. I think you see it here in a second. I just used wood glue to fix it. Anyway, it was the perfect little, yeah, see, it's cracked right there. I don't know if you're gonna see it. Yep, it cracked right there. And so I just take a little wood glue, it's fine, and I'm gonna put it together and let it dry. There you go. I love this one too. Alright, I love this one. There's my watercolors, which come in a little package, and they're not very big, but I'm dabbing a little bit and adding some water into it just for the flow, I don't know how you say that, onto this. So I love how bright this color is when you first put it on. Obviously it fades out a little bit as it dries, but I really wanted to blend, so you guys can just watch me paint this up and blend my colors, and this is personal preference and however you want to do it. So I don't think I need to tell you anything more about this piece. Just watch me put it together. It was a lot of fun. I love the artistic part of this, of the painting. It's very soothing to watch somebody paint in high speed, isn't it? Anyway, so after I paint it, obviously I take the inside and I paint it again. No, I don't paint the inside on this one, I'm sorry. I take the lights and I glue them on the inside. Let's just fast forward to that. You guys can watch me paint. I'll come back and tell you how to do the rest of it. I do paint the inside. See, I was right. To brighten it again, it's because when you're putting lights in it, the white's going to reflect the light a lot better. So I paint the inside, and then I'm going to stain the outside and with my shoe polish. And then I'm going to add my lights to the inside of the box, and all I'm doing is going to glue the strand on the top there so I could get into it. And I cut a piece of the cutting board to act as the filter through the box. And now I've got my leather ribbon here, which I double-sided, shoe polishing the side so it's not white. Gonna tack it down, and that's it. This one is done. It's my favorite one, my favorite for sure. I feel like I don't even need to tell you on this one. Alright, so let's start with this cute little form, which is great. We're going to take these Scotch foot guard things. We're going to glue 3 of them together, so we're making our little beehive pile as the base on this. And then we're going to glue it to the bottom of the beehive, and I'm going to use the super glue fix-all stuff. So here's the one for the inside to hold the votive, and then this goes on the bottom, and like that's it. That's it, you guys. How simple, right? But so cute. So you can see there was 3 different ones here. I don't use love, I use family and gather, but they are individual pieces, house shaped with these words on it, and I'm going to make them one sign, making sure that they were exactly the same size so that I could use one on each side. These little picture frame houses are going to be the sides of my little lantern, and I'm just taking them all apart to remove all the innards so I can glue it all together. So popsicle sticks, I'm just cutting pieces so that I can glue my letters together on the back side, and then afterwards I'm lining it up to make sure that they are like straight, right? So a little wood glue, pop a little popsicle stick in between the 2 of them, and then make sure it's flat. A little bit of hot glue might have helped. Like it kept moving on me. I was like, I just didn't want the hot glue protrusion that happens. So, alright, so now it's there, it's flat, it's staying, it's going to dry. And then obviously I do the same thing with the other side. And then I put something heavy on it to wait for it to dry. Now we're going to stain it with my shoe polish. You could do this with anything, any stain would do. You know, I just love my shoe polish. And then we're going to glue it to the sides. I do shoe polish the little side houses as well so that it all matched really well. This was a good match, by the way. It came out really well. And then I'm going to glue it all together, putting my 4 pieces, gluing them together, which I think is next. I hope it's next. Nope, we're going to watch me stain a little bit. No, I could have cut some of this out. Alright, so we're going to use some little tumbling tower blocks to hold it together. No, I thought I was. I guess I didn't. I just used hot glue and regular glue. And then this took a little bit because I had to like hold it together, didn't want it to fall, and then leave it to dry, which I did. Now this is the wood sign, which I just laid it on there, measured it, and I cut to the inside of the line that I drew so that this would fit and not protrude. It slightly stuck out on each side, but it was perfect for it. And then I'm just gonna stain that as well and glue her down, and then this is done. And I think this came out really cool. It would be great with some florals in it too. Oh, here's why the tumbling tower blocks. That's right. It was just for my base to just give it some extra support. All right, so I hope you guys like this one too. I really was trying to make so many different ones for you guys and not have them all be the same. Anyway, I was trying to use different materials and stuff that you wouldn't think to make a lantern with, but I'm just wiping off the extra glue there and then adding the glass back in, little hot glue to hold the glass there, into the frames, and then that's it. This one's done. So I hope you guys like this one too. Let's move on. This one is so farmhouse. I love these picture frames. And they're like foam, so they glue together really well. So cutting out my chicken wire, and I just use hot glue to hold it in there. I knew nothing was going to be pressing against it, so that was totally fine. And then I'm going to do that with all 4 sides. So I have my chicken wire insert. And then I'm going to take, it is vinegar, hydrogen peroxide, and salt that I put into a little squirt bottle, and I squirt my metal pieces and sit them out in the sun, and that's how you get the rust. So here I'm just gluing, this is just hot glue because it works so amazing with these plastic foamish things. It's so perfect. And I'm just going to glue those on. Boom, boom. Now we have our lantern, and now we're going to get our metal out. Again, hydrogen peroxide, vinegar, and salt in the sun. Now I have this beautiful rust, so I'm using super glue, and I'm going to put the bottom on, and I'm going to weight it down, and I let it dry for a good long time, like a good long time. See that? Put some weight on it. And then we're going to come back for the roof. So I just took this, I bent it, found the middle, gave it a little bend, and I was like, I'm just going to plop it on and off, and then got these new, these are new, this is a new piece. But I take it apart and make it 2 separate things. So the little tassel on the front, and then the rest of the beads for the handle on the roof. And this came out so cute. I love this little farmhouse piece. I really do. Again, just another style. I feel like I don't have to walk you guys through this one because it's pretty simple. So some shoe polish for the center of it, and then we're just going to color the outlines of the sunflower just to brighten it up. This is personal choice, and it's so subtle, but it works so well, and I just use different colors, and I'm just doing a little blending. By the way, whenever you see the red polka dots, it means I'm crafting in my pajamas. So there's that. Which means it's probably Saturday morning and Marcus is sleeping. That's normally what it is. Alright, then once I do all this, then I'm going to age it just a little bit, but I'm going to pull that shoe polish back out, and we're just going to do a little, just sort of like use a paintbrush so it's not too heavy. And I always use my finger. On plastic, you guys, stain is amazing. It's like, it seeps into it so wonderfully, and this, again, just aged it, took away that stark white. Go right on the top of it too. And then I'm going to pull out my jute twine. So I got 3 long pieces. I knotted them together. And now I'm going to make my handle. And the way you do it is you take 1 strand and you just knot it over the other 2 strands. So you loop over and then you pull it through and you pull it tight. And by doing this, you get this twirl effect on it. So I kept this slow just so you guys could see how I was doing it. So you sort of loop over, like make a U, and then pull it through, and then pull it tight. It's really just a knot. You're just knotting over the 2 strands. And then depending upon how long you want this, at some point you might run out of length on the one that you're knotting with, and then you just switch. You use another one to knot over 2 of them. So you can, I hope that makes sense. Anyway, I love this. It's kind of a little macrame or a friendship bracelet knot, and it's really cool. So I do that. I get it as long as I want it, and then I'm gonna knot the other end of it, and I'm just gonna hot glue this to the top of it as my little handle. So there again, it's just loop over and then pull it through and pull it tight. I think I show you here that it's like going around. It's making a twisty, I dropped it. It's making a twisty, twirly pattern. So see that? It's like going around it. It's super cool. Anyway, all right, so that's how I do my handle. I could have just used thicker nautical rope, but yeah, just wanted to make it be a little bit different. And then there you go. See how it's twisting? It's a really cool design. I like that. Then after I'm done with that, I'm going to glue it on, and then I'm going to add some jute twine around the top of it, which is going to help hold this on, even though I've glued it on. And I do burn it just to get all the wispies off of it. So I untwist the little tail ends on this just for a little extra whatever. And I'm just visually going to the other side. So it's fine. And then we're going to just wrap some jute around the top and around the bottom, and this one is done. It was a great way just to take these little $1.25 little lanterns and upscale them slightly. And but mine doesn't work now. I got to get new batteries. So there's that. I left it on. It's okay. It happens. Anyway, we're done with this one. Let's move on to the next one. Again, so simple, don't need to show you. So these are those little hanging light bulb lights that you turn on and off. I took the light bulb off just to make sure that wreath charm was the right size. It is. And so now we're just going to put everything together. I'm going to paint that black, and I'm going to paint the very top of the little lantern black. I'm going to glue it all together, and you have this very industrial looking little lantern. Do I even need to say any more? No, I don't. You can just watch me put this together. 8 frames here. But they just go together so well. I love these big white frames, and then just the, obviously gray is like the new black, right? It's everybody's using it in interior design and everything. But this fits so perfectly, like it just fit right in there. It looks like it was made that way, right? And then I'm gonna do that, then take the 4 pieces of glass, and I'm gonna use the window tinting stuff that has, at first I tried the geometric design, that didn't work. So then I went to the floral one, putting that on there, gluing it, and the tint is to the outside. I think I told you guys that. Then I'm gonna glue them together. Again, these are those plastic foam sort of frames, so they glue together absolutely beautifully. And then once I put those together, I'm gonna do a bottom. I did not do a top on this lantern. I just didn't feel like it needed it. Like it was so substantial on its own. So build it all, get it all together. Got a nice good square there. And this is going to be my bottom, and it is one of the trivets, I guess. So some tumbling tower blocks in each corner. I'm going to put 2 in each corner to really hold this thing. And then I'm going to set that inside. I could have painted these white. I didn't. At this point, I was so over lanterns. I was like, no. And then these are my little apples. So I just take the stems out of there, glue them on, and I do paint these. I give them a little coat of some white, and then I put the I think it was just 1 coat on the apples of white, just to, you know, have it blend a little bit. And that's it. Let those dry and pop the piece of glass inside to hold my candle, and then this one is done. Which one is your favorite? Please let me know.
Doing this, you guys. It was very stressful because I had so many ideas of lanterns and I couldn't get them all done and blah blah blah. I still have one sitting out there. I'm like, no, I gotta finish this video. But that's okay. That's what part of crafting is, and part of creating is. It's just like you're not always going to be able to get every one of your ideas done. Oh, Mark's is letting me know my dinner is ready. I'm coming, babe. So I've had a lot of fun doing this. I hope you guys really like it. I have so many ideas for doing larger videos like this with sort of a theme. And let me know if there's any that you would like to see and which one of these is your favorite. I gotta say, like the floating candle one, love, but this big, huge piece, or even the family and gather, this is still my favorite. Although, see, the more I look at him, I'm like, I don't know. I gotta say, chicken wire here is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Okay, so I really hope you guys understand. I really tried to make them all different and not have the same thing, and just like, you know, like the little modern one here, just really trying to give you different ideas of what you can do. And, you know, putting the window tint on that, or using the cutting board to put a backing on that so that it would illuminate through. So I really tried. How about the butterfly boxes, which I think is very out of the box, no pun intended. Anyway, guys, I hope you really like that. Stick around, because right now I'm gonna show you how I did the candles. Very simple, a little tedious, but very simple. And very rewarding. It was rewarding. They're like, hey, I made this candle. And Mark goes, so you're going to be making candles? And I go, no. No, well, maybe in another year when I have all the little leftover parts. But for now, no, I'm just using up the wax I have here. All right. So everybody, have a great day, great week, a great life. Thank you for watching my lantern special. And baby, lock the door and turn the lights down low. No, don't do that yet. First, I got to go to the Dollar Tree. All right. Happy hunting at your local Dollar Tree. Please give me a thumbs up if you love this video. And please leave a comment because chatter on the channel really helps. And I really want to know which one of these was your favorite. And how about how I use those little Scotch table guard things, huh? All right. I was trying, you guys. I really was trying. Thanks, besties, so much for watching. Please consider subscribing if you're not a subscriber. And as always, from your singing crafty crafter, have a great day, a great week, a great life, and happy hunting at your local Dollar Tree. Bye. Thanks for watching.